Yo, what up, Tushi here? I'm doing something a little bit different in this video. I'm going to be yapping and also playing Honkai Star at the same time. I low-key want to do this as a daily upload type of video. So just me yapping about whatever regarding Honkai Star and then just playing the game at the same time. I feel like I can kill two birds with one stone. I don't upload, but I play this game I legit play this game every single day. But I don't really upload as much as I used to. And I used to upload a lot back in the day. So I'm just going to play the game as I normally would and just talk about random stuff at the same time. And today I want to talk about Seele. I originally was going to make another video on this character because I actually made a video on this character way back in the day. And the video I made was going over the history of this character ever since her introduction in Honkai Star, which was actually... Why am I lagging so bad? Maybe because I'm trying to record a video at the same time. Ever since her introduction in Honkai Star in the beta, she's been a pretty bad character to use in general. Now, when she first released, right, the idea of a character that had a risk reward factor to their kit was actually pretty good. It was genuinely one of the things that made early Honkai Star pretty fun to play, right? That's why characters like Seele felt really rewarding to play with and actually like get rewarded for making the right choices. And characters like Denheng and Bibertulane was also the same as well. Whenever you actually made the right decision or you actually ended up meeting the criteria in order to get the extra damage or in order to get the extra ult charge, right? That felt pretty darn good. But the problem is a character like Seele is not a character anymore that warrants that playstyle. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you go to the hardest content the game has to offer, which right now is quite literally this content, it is genuinely impossible to use this character no matter how much investment you have in your characters. You're going to see right now the damage on my Seele is insane, but it's not enough to clear. Now, in a normal setting, right, for Memory Chaos, you'd be able to get this cleared, right? Now, mind you, I didn't go over the constellations or the eidolons of the characters and their light cones. This I messed up. I gotta use the ultimate of Silverwolf before I actually, or the ultimate of Rob before I use Silverwolf's ultimate. It's very particular in how you do this to maximize damage of Silverwolf and maximize damage of the DPS character as well, while also maximizing the, turn you get with Robin in the team. Again, for those of you who understand that this is like, it's just Robin Tech 101, right? Now, the thing is that you're going to see this damage. The damage here is insane, but is not enough damage to kill because these enemies have so much HP. And the playstyle that Seele once had is no longer a thing because of the amount of HP inflation the game has. And it doesn't matter how much, like, there isn't enough buffs and utilities in the game to make Seele do enough damage to kill the targets she needs to kill. You just can't kill, right? So I'm going to show you right here, okay? Now, we're going to hope that, the Sriracha does so much damage. So we're going to hope that this enemy targets the right person, which this is very sad, right? Seele doesn't get enough energy in this turn. I'm going to hope that this boss targets the right person. I'm going to use this here. He's going to hit everyone in the team with an AoE attack, I believe. No, he doesn't. He just hits everyone but Seele. Okay, we're dead. Okay. It's already hard enough to, control that, right? And another thing too I didn't mention, by the way, in this specific fight, you cannot kill the mobs. So you can't even get resets off of the mobs with Seele. So that's another thing as well, right? Now, this is just the hardest content the game has to offer. She still is semi-unrewarding to play in the second hardest content the game has to offer, which is Baby Memory Chaos. I say Baby Memory Chaos because compared to this, Memory Chaos right now is a joke, right? Anomaly Arbitration is insane, right? Now, I'm going to replace Silverwolf with a sustain. I usually use Fujuan because I like Fujuan with Seele. You get extra crit rate. I also do have her E1, and I also do have her Signature Light Cone, so you get 30% crit damage, and you also do give 15%, 18% with my, refinements on it, 18% damage bonus to her as well. So it's like having another Harmony character in the team, for instance, right? So I like having Fujuan. She also does help with the skill point generation, but not as much as other sustained characters, obviously. Now, I'm going to show you, even with a premium setup like this, it's still not enough to get well, you need to achieve it in 2 cycles, right, to get the 3 stars. So I'm just going to do the normal setup here. I'm going to make sure Seele can get her turn, and then I'm going to use a skill from everyone else. I can honestly use this now. That doesn't really matter. Again, no matter how much damage you do, you legit don't do enough damage to kill them, right? Because they don't take any damage. So I'm just going to do this here. And then we're just going to do the skill. Now we're going to use Robin. And then I can use Saridra. I get 2 skill points, one from Bronya's Light Cone and one from Saraja's Light Cone. So it is like you can run this team without having Sparkle because you already get the skill points you need. So now I'm max buffed, max damage. This is gonna hit as hard as it could hit possible, right? So boom. And the skills are gonna do, look how much damage skills are doing. I just did a million damage in 1 turn with Seele. And this guy is less than half HP. And because I didn't kill him, and I can't kill the additional enemies, this character quite literally does not function at all. Like, she just doesn't function. Right there, she doesn't function. I can't do anything about it either. She's supposed to be able to kill and then get a reset and then snowball off of it, right? Because I timed the maximum amount of damage I could do possible in this character in the right timing, and I'm not rewarded for it anymore because the way the game works does not reward the character, right, in the current environment, which is very upsetting. With Robin in the team, I can use ultimate whenever I want. It is actually better to save your ultimate after this fight, but I have Seele with Eidolons, which, mind you, my Seele is E6S5, but let's be real here. The only like Eidolons that matter in this character is I don't think I can show the Eidolons on the character, but the only Eidolons that matters on this character is her 4th Eidolon, which gives her energy every time she kills an enemy, which is genuinely a really good Eidolon if you can kill enemies. Well, if you can't kill any enemies, the Eidolon is useless, right? And that's the crazy part, is that even her Eidolons have a risk-reward factor to it, right? If you can't kill, you don't get the extra energy. Also do have her Light Cone maxed out. And this is probably the best thing for her, right? Because you give her so much extra damage. So it's like the only thing that really gives her a boost, right? With investment into the actual character, vertical investment. Now I'm going to keep going here. So I'm just going to do this like I normally would. I usually kill the middle one first. Like, I just keep using Saraja's Scroll whenever I can because I just get so much energy in this team. I'm going to have another Robin ult here. I'm going to do this. I probably should have popped it when I got her to go again, but I'm just going to keep popping it. And the reason why I'm going to keep popping it is because I want to continuously be able to get more Robin ults throughout the fight. So, and then I'm going to use like the skill over and over again because I generate the skills with the ultimate from the character. So I assume I'm going to get hit here. Yeah. She's a Harmony character, so I assume I'm going to get hit. The cool thing is Saridra does give energy, which could sometimes help. Like here, maybe, yeah, see, that helps out a lot. Saridra gives energy, which is very nice with her skill to the ally. So when over the course of the fight, the amount of like energy you get does add up, but yeah, I have to unfortunately do that now because Fujuan is a character that still consumes your skill points. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's not a big deal because I can just use the basic attack on Seele, right? She's so fast. She has the action forward from her basic attack. So it's fine. Usually Fujuan does die in this fight because there's so much AoE damage coming in. Like here, again, like this is just so much damage. But she has Eidolons, so she is able to revive herself. Again, trying to clear this with Fujuan is already hard enough as is. It's so much AoE damage coming at you. Especially when you have all these enemies on the field at the same time. It's just so much damage. So now since I have another ultimate Fujuan, might as well use it, right? Like, in this right here, imagine using Seele without all this extra fluff, right? It would it would be still impossible to use her. Genuinely. Okay, let's do this here. All this extra fluff damage is helping clear somewhat, but not really. Also, I did get that ultimate from the energy, not the energy, the extra skill point from her, from Soraya. I could be forgetting that sometimes. So we're gonna kill. Now we get an additional turn. I probably should have popped ult before I did the thing here, so that I used the ult and to get the energy on after that. Now here's the problem. The problem is that now whenever I do go, I'm not gonna be able to clear it in these cycles necessary because I just don't have enough. I'm going to actually save this from Robin. I'm going to maximize my... Oh, my lord. I'm maximizing my damage here. And you're going to see I get the enemies super low. Like, really, really close. Right here. Boom. I can do this here. Oh, actually, here's the problem. Here is the problem. I need to use Robin's ult now, or else I won't be able to do anything. This sucks, doesn't it? Do I just use the skill? Well, the thing is that Soraya will go before Seele. So yeah, it's fine. So I could do this here. And then I could do this. It's fine. All right. I had to figure out how I was going to do that. All right. Now I'll have more skill points still. So I can do this basic attack. And I can still give her the stack. Now here's the thing. I'm going to have enough to kill here. Surely. Well, I have the extra attack here, but at the end of the day, like, this guy is still going to be alive. So I do the skill here, which is still not even enough to kill. I will kill with the ultimate though, right? I think I killed the ultimate. I killed the ultimate, but since there's so much HP and you can't kill the additional mobs throughout the fight, what ends up happening is that you don't have enough to clear the amount of cycles possible because there's just not enough damage coming out from this team to do so. And with a no sustain setup, you're just dead. You're just dead, right? You're just dead. There's so much AoE damage. It's like near impossible. I don't even think you could do this without a sustain. And maybe the only thing that can do it without sustain is like fine on. I don't know. I don't have the character, but yeah, you can't clear. And that's the problem with the character. The hardest content the game has to offer with the now worst limited character with the most investment possible. If I can show you guys right now my Fribbles build in terms of gear score for my Seele, you'll see. Like, I put a lot of investment in this character. Can you load, please? Please make a video. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm showing my Seele. Okay. So this is my Seele's gear score. Okay. This is insane. We're not using Sparkle. I don't even have Eidolons on here if I get Soraya, who is, by the way, really good with Seele. Let me just preface that. She increases your skill damage like crazy. This is not enough gear score, not enough damage to clear the hardest content the game has to offer. This right here is not enough to clear the hardest content the game has to offer. I mean, I can't, bro. I can't. And I was using Robin instead of Sorwolf, so I mean, technically I should put Robin in here instead. Robin, E1 Robin, by the way. I don't have her signature light cone, but I am using Bronia's light cone at R5, which is like really competitive to her signature. Still can't clear, by the way. Still can't clear. Getting all these skill points, and I still can't clear. Like, this is a team where you don't need Sparkle. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing for the past few days, ever since this content did drop, right? And what are we in? 3.7? Is it 3.6? I don't remember what patch we're in, because I stopped doing the Should You Pool videos, so I don't remember what patch we're in, honestly. But yeah, I'm guessing 3.6 or 3.7, whichever one it is. I've been using her in that content ever since the patch dropped, and I still can't clear it. I gotten really close one time, but it just wasn't enough damage to clear it in that cycle. So like, even if you play perfectly, you still don't have enough damage to clear. You can't use a no sustain team because you run the risk of just dying. And if you take out Fuge 1 and put in a sustain, or excuse me, a Harmony character, right, you end up doing a lot of damage. I was using a team with Seele, Soraya, Sorwolf, and Sparkle, or Robin, either or, Sorwolf or Sparkle, Sorwolf or Robin, vice versa, right? They're all really good supports for Seele, right? And I still did not have enough DPS to clear before getting, annihilated by the enemies, right? And even if you make your characters really tanky, if they get a turn, they're going to deal more damage to you with the archers that do AoE attacks. So then it just becomes genuinely hard to sustain yourself through the fights with no sustain. But you probably already know that, right? So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm going to probably just go and cry now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Next video will be more exciting because there's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about in Honkai Star Rail. Like, for instance, I want to talk about Cyrene. I want to talk about the future of Honkai Star Rail, which, by the way, looks pretty scary, admittedly, considering all of the current characters and play style we have regarding the Amphorius Remembrance characters, right, with the Remembrance sprites, and all the just HP bloat and damage we have coming out from these Remembrance characters. It is a little scary not knowing what the future of Honkai Star may hold, but I also, would be lying here if I didn't tell you guys that I really enjoy this despite all of those shortcomings of Honkai Star right now. This has been my favorite year of Honkai Star, which I can also make into another video, going over how good this year of Honkai Star was comparative to Penacony and comparative to Belobog, right? The first year of Honkai Star, or I guess you can say Zhengshou, right? The first real region of second, but the first like main region of Honkai Star, I guess we could say, right? Like pretty much, yeah. Like I never made it like, okay, how can we buff this character? And I feel like I'll probably make a more in-depth version of this in the future in a video. But I feel like for Seele specifically, she needs quite a few things. For one, her kit is very outdated, but you already know that. The one thing that feels really good on the character is getting resets. And I feel like this all the character needs is damage. The rest of her kit flows pretty nicely. It feels very, very, very smooth as long as she can kill things. Unfortunately, she can't kill anything. So all this character really needs is just pure damage. Like every multiplier this character has needs to be doubled. What I would do though is if you kill an enemy, regardless if the enemy dies to additional damage from a character like Saridra or Robin or Ruan Mei, right? Because there is a lot of, or Ting Yun back in the day, there was a lot of the time if you killed the enemy with the additional damage and not Seele's damage, you didn't get the additional turn. I wish that that wasn't the case, right? If the enemy dies while Seele is taking her turn, she should get the reset. That will help out a ton with characters doing extra damage alongside it, right? E1 Tribi, for instance, that would be very, very nice. So hopefully that would be somewhat of a buff they will give to the character in the future regarding her talent, right? Making the character a little less like detrimental. And as for her ultimate, there's no reason why this should not be a 1,000 damage multiplier when you have characters like Archer, who I actually have not built yet. But I know Archer will be able to clear that content a lot easier than my Seele would at, like, look at this, man. His ultimate is level 4, and it does about double the damage. The only reason why this ultimate is this high is because she's E6, right? And I believe you get this at E5, the extra ultimate damage, or it could be E3, one of those two. I guess that's the power of the unlimited blade works. Whatever. But anyways, that's the biggest problems of the character. She just needs more damage. The rest of her kit flows very nicely. If they want to change her Eidolons, make her Eidolon 6 something like crazy, insane, right? Give incentive for people to actually like build her if they do get copies of her in the future, right? And they somehow get E6 on this character that wishes upon anybody by any means. But if you ever do come across an E6 Seele at some point in your Honkai Star Rail journey, I do wish that the Eidolon 6 of the character in the future is actually something useful other than just additional damage whenever you attack the enemy that goes away after the enemy takes their turn. Like, come on, man. This is the worst E6 I've ever seen in this game. There's no E6 as bad as this. Even Bailu, another OG standard character, has a actual decent E6, right? You have another revive. It flows very nicely with her kit. Seele's E6 is horrible because it only lasts for one turn. Like, this will be nice in those boss fights because it helps soften up the enemy, right? And then whenever she takes her turn, she can finish them off. But it only lasts for one turn, which is horrible. And especially in this day and age where enemies have like 200 speed. which are faster than your characters most of the time, unless you're running high assign. But why would you run high assign in a team with Seele, right? That's just negative skill points.